Lesson 76. Fixed phrases in conversation. Hello, and welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to learn useful fixed phrases that commonly appear as responses and expressions in everyday conversation. A. Common responses. When you do not know the answer to a question, you can say, I have no idea. For example, what time did he get here? I have no idea. This phrase means I do not know. When your answer depends on other circumstances, you can say, that depends. For example, are you going tonight? That depends. We can also say it depends. Both expressions show that you cannot give a definite answer, because other things may affect your decision. When someone makes a suggestion and you are willing to accept it, you can reply, yeah, why not? For example, shall we go out tonight? Yeah, why not? When you want to give a negative answer without sounding too strong, you can say, not really. For example, did you like the film? Not really. When someone tells you about a plan, you can ask about its purpose by saying, what for? For example, I am going to Sweden next week. Really? What for? Here, what for means why. When something is impossible, or you strongly refuse a request, you can say, no way. For example, can I borrow your car? No way. This informal expression has a similar meaning to no chance. When you think the answer is probably yes, but do not want to sound completely certain, you can say, I suppose so. For example, they are coming tonight, are they not? I suppose so. When something surprises you greatly, you can say, I could not believe my eyes. For example, Jason has grown a beard. I know. I could not believe my eyes. This means that you were extremely surprised by what you saw. Other expressions for strong surprise include, you must be joking. I do not believe it. For example, we have to work tonight. You must be joking. Or, Eli got top marks. I do not believe it. Language help, you must be joking. We use you must be joking when someone has said something surprising. Similar informal expressions include, you are joking. You are kidding. The surprise may be unpleasant, as in the news that someone has to work unexpectedly. It may also be a pleasant surprise. For example, my father said he would pay for all of us to go on holiday. You are kidding. Fantastic. B. Fixed phrases in a conversation. Fixed phrases are an important part of natural everyday speech. Consider a conversation about two students named Vince and Milan. The speaker begins, I had to have a word with Vince and Milan today. To have a word with someone means to speak to that person privately, without other people listening. The other person asks whether the boys are causing trouble again. The speaker replies, well, you know, they just keep talking to each other, and they do not pay attention. That sort of thing. The phrase you know is often used to fill a pause while someone is thinking about what to say next. To pay attention means to listen carefully or concentrate. The expression that sort of thing refers to other examples of the same general type. The other person suggests making the boys sit in different places. However, the speaker has already tried that, and it did not work. The reply is, well, in that case, you will have to move one of them. The phrase in that case means, because of the situation that has just been described. The speaker is not comfortable with that solution and says, maybe, but I would feel bad about that. To feel bad about something means to feel unhappy or uncomfortable about doing it. The speaker continues, They are quite nice boys. They just cannot help it. When someone cannot help something, they cannot control that action or behavior. The other person agrees that the boys are nice but says, "You cannot let that kind of thing continue." Here, that kind of thing means behavior of that type. The speaker explains that the boys have already received a final warning and suggests, "Let us wait and see what happens." To wait and see means to wait until the result becomes clear before making another decision. The other person asks, "What if they do not improve?" The structure "what if" asks what someone will do if a possible situation occurs. The conversation ends with, "If you change your mind, come and see me again." To change your mind means to change a decision or opinion. The other person then offers to arrange for one of the students to be moved to a different class. Language help, sort and kind. In informal speech, we use sort and kind in several common fixed phrases. The expressions "that sort of thing" and "that kind of thing" refer to examples of a particular type. For example, "I grow onions and carrots, that sort of thing." We can also use sort of and kind of to mean approximately or more or less. For example, "Her new top is sort of blue." This means that the color is approximately blue. Another example is, "I thought he was kind of strange." This means that the speaker thought he was somewhat strange.